Hello everyone, I am Gareth the Master974 back again with some Scavenger SV-4. This will be my second recorded run through of the game. If you just bear with me for like 2 seconds, I will turn my audio down off my TV. So we're just going to go straight into a brand new game as Ben Gordon is piloting the ship Shadow. Let's just get straight into the game. So there's one thing I need to say from the previous recording. If you're wondering why there are certain cuts throughout the run, it's because the capture ended up getting glitched at certain points, and I guarantee this capture is going to get glitched at certain points as well. So unfortunately there's not much I can do about that other than get a better PC, but that ain't going to happen anytime soon. Hence why, you know, I'm sort of going to have to cut stuff out. Anyway, we've got a personal log of Captain Ben Gordon. So I'm sitting at this bar on L62 between jobs, blah, 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 blah. So this sort of gives you backstory, as I said. And, you know, it just talks about your reasoning why you can go to this planet and all that. So, god damn it. You can go through. So Sergei's destination, L62. Planet here, heavy cloud cover, don't think it ever breaks, nasty radiation, so there we go. There's also that dungeon road, I think I checked that out as well, I'm not quite sure. Looks like mountains and spheres. So one thing that I kind of didn't do last time at least was actually go ahead and install the objects onto your rover. So it was thanks to a YouTube comment, and I honestly did not take note of who it was before this recording, but they know who they are if they're watching this, so thank you for the hint and the tip that I'm actually supposed to move the rover into the garage here and then, you know, select to install the items that we can get from the surface. Now constantly what happens is we're getting exposed to radiation, so we need to keep on top of our radiation exposure by using the med bay, as we all know, and hopefully we don't end up dying, but it's a very real possibility. So our planet this time around is this greeny planet. There's our spacecraft out there, and we're surrounding, well, we're orbiting some sort of red star, so it's probably a K star or an M star maybe, I don't know. Last time I think I played this, it said there was an ice giant, and it was a blue planet. Unfortunately, ice giants don't have surfaces per se, or solid surfaces at least. So it's like, yeah, it's good to say that you're on an ice giant, but then ice giants don't technically have surfaces, as far as we know at least. It's all theory, but you know, at least say you're on some sort of terrestrial planet with a thick atmosphere, but you know, an ice giant's like a gas giant, you just don't have a surface. Or when you get to the surface, you're under extreme pressure, so you'll probably end up getting killed, or in this case our rover will get crushed. Better the rover than us though, so I'll try and remember to install items when I collect them, check on the radiation dosage, and we can just get straight into the gameplay here. So we can actually go ahead and go to certain objects like this. We can select to pick it up. So I think if I do get a turret or something, then I'll at least let you know what I sort of learned to do, because I did actually end up going into some area where there's actual sentries. So these sort of constructs that move around and shoot at you, and I ended up actually losing the rover. So that was pretty bad. And I had to abort the mission early. Oh shit, what the hell? Talk about having to abort the mission early. What the shit was that? Okay, we are going to have to recall that. What? Tell me what the hell that was. It's like some, oh god, I turned caps lock on. If you see that, that's me turning caps lock on, because you have to use WASD. And I'm on my laptop. I think that was like some shock cactus or something. It reminds me of the sort of shock cacti from Borderlands 2. So if you hit them, you get electrified. So what we can do is actually repair the video camera and the status display, because they're sort of glitching out. While we're doing that, I'll actually get checked for radiation exposure. So that's something that we're going to do now. We activate the auto dock. So yeah, I've probably got nothing to talk about this time, because everything that's in the game I've already sort of explained last time when I played this. The sort of premise of the game. Obviously, our first sort of mission to the surface was cut short because we just got hit by a shock cactus or whatever the fuck it was supposed to be. And now I've actually got to repair that stuff on top of decrypting what those items we collected from the surface are, so we can actually, or one item, and see what it is, and probably end up installing it onto the rover. So what we can do is reel this over into the science laboratory, and when that's done and dusted... Oh, what the hell? Science computer offline? What the hell happens? See, this happens as well. You end up with a... Oh god, what the hell's this? Yeah, we need to go and sort that out. So yeah, that happens as well. It's probably the exposure to the radiation that it causes problems. So what we can do is try and repair this item, and as you see, it's got an estimated probability of success, where you can just attempt to repair items and they sort of tried their best to be functional again. I need to go through engineering to reboot, or is it the other? It's this terminal, isn't it, the engineering one? User terminals. The science one is offline. We need to select it and force reboot. Hopefully it works. So I'll back out to that screen. And you'll probably see my frame rate up in the corner as well. It's saying it's like 60 frames per second and all that. I don't know why, but I tried to lower my laptop screen resolution to 720p to try and get 60 frames per second capturing. However, it seems as if my Elgato capture thinks that it's still sort of 1080p input resolution when it's not. So I kind of don't know why that's the case, and if anyone can sort of give a hint, if you will, as to why the Elgato is like thinking it's still 1080p display when it really isn't, then it'll be appreciated, because I have no clue as to why that would be the case. And look at that, I'm going through like the floor almost. So now that the science computer is up, we can research the item. And as you can see, even if I was able to get 60 frames per second, then you won't be seeing it all the time, because my game's dropping below 30 frames per second sometimes and all that. So that ain't good. My laptop is a potato, and I've said this numerous times, but there's not like anything I can do about it. As you can see, we've got our air supply about 90%, so we're only supposed to stay about probably another 9 times longer than the time that I've been playing this for. So we only really get some short exposure time here, but the amount of radiation that we do get exposed to is actually pretty substantial. What's this? It's some sort of an electrical weapon. I don't think I've ever come across this before. On this green planet here with this atmosphere. That's very unnatural indeed. Oh wait, is this working now? Yeah, that looks normal. Okay. So the microphone and such might have been a little bit damaged. An offensive weapon. When the trigger is pulled, a powerful electrical arc is projected. This weapon is highly damaging but unpredictable and erratic in the area of effect. This device consumes an unusually large amount of electrical power in operation. This weapon contains anti-detection stealth measures worth 3,700 credits. Now what we can do is go up into this panel here, and if we select this, we can actually rename it as well. Now don't do what I do and just drag it over into the rover, because that doesn't do anything. I muted the game by accident. If you see that, that's what it was. My apologies. Hopefully that doesn't do anything. What we have to do is actually select the from the garage and actually drag it onto the rover, and then if it says it should be installed, then click yes, and there we go. And also what you want to do is you can actually click that button to activate the turret, so then you can actually use the turret which I didn't know that you could do until, well, you end up in a situation which is pretty terrible, like I was just in, except with sentries, which we never know. We might encounter sentries in this run, but there's no guarantees because it's all random number generation and stuff, so you never know. Hopefully it works this time around at least. But yeah, we got to keep an eye on our radiation exposure and all that too, so we still need to be really careful. Open up the storage. I might go out into the airlock again, I don't know. This time I'll remember to close the door behind me, as last time that didn't kind of work too well. Got the Milky Way galaxy over there too, which is pretty nice. And radiation, immediate emergency, so that's not good. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Nice funky reflections in the glass. Let's get onto the rover and see what's going on. So we've got another 30 seconds to wait. We can also turn on the auxiliary generator if we really wanted to, and we can enable the turret by clicking on turret, and we can see sort of how much power gets generated through the reserve battery over here. Now the reserve battery and all that, I think, and the power controller, whatever, is kind of damaged, as you can see by these random glitching of numbers over here. Hopefully we don't get completely smashed because of the surface we're going to land on. Oh, okay. Because that can happen. You can actually end up taking damage from a fall because you land on tough terrain, or rough terrain rather, like here. So if I was to record and land on there, then I would probably end up smashing my rover to bits, which ain't good. See, the problem is with something like this, you don't know if it's a cave or if it's a slope. It's like really difficult to tell. It's probably just the way the lighting is, you know, arranged, that you can't really tell what that actually is. Like that, for instance, you wouldn't know that's a cave over there unless you like looked at it. Oh, okay. Can we use the auxiliary generator? Okay, we probably could scavenge an item from this thing. But where can we scavenge an item from? Oh. Because it's got to be around here somewhere, surely. It's like we gotta get, oh, it's gotta go through here, that's why. There's a little opening eventually that you can just like squeeze on into, and you can pick up the item. Sound good? Back up out of that shizzle. There's something over there too. I might collect these items and see what it is. Is this a trap? I don't think this is a trap. Pick up the object. We won't be able to pick up any more, but I might be able to get some more ground coverage. Maybe. Also, how do I know what the auxiliary generator powers at? Because there's no way for me to know. Is there? Because it's running off of a... It's running off the auxiliary generator, I think. If I turn it off, then it's actually depleting the battery, as you can see from the reserve battery. So I'm just wanting to get into like a nice little area where I can touch it down, perhaps next time I deploy to the planet's surface. Avoiding these sort of stinging cacti or whatever the hell they're supposed to be. Ready for our next deployment. So sorry if my commentary is kind of boring, but when you're just here, then you don't know what to say unless shit happens, but then you don't know if shit is going to happen. So I'll leave my turret here. Let's recall it. Get the shit out of here. Jump scare. No jump scare. Okay, it's good. I swear to God, this game is like set up to have like fucking jump scares. I'm not gonna lie. Like, imagine if you exit that that camera thing, And then there's literally like some alien monster that just jumps out at you, and it's like Five Nights at Freddy's or some stupidness like that. And it's like you don't expect it. And it's like, it's this planetary exploration game. Like, why the shit do you have to have jump scares in it? I don't know. Or you can get an unintentional jump scare where a turret like blows your ass up and you don't even see it. Now, unfortunately, we are still exposed to the radiation from the planet. As you see, it was about 1 sievert, which is a sievert is a unit of radiation exposure, and I believe that is actually pretty fucking high, because it's usually about milli or micro sieverts of radiation that, you know, us humans are normally exposed to. So to get that sort of exposure is actually pretty substantial if you think about it. And the fact that you still get it constantly is pretty bad. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Radiation, in the words of Gordon Freeman from Freeman's Mind, is that it's the gift that keeps on giving. And that is very, very true indeed when you think about it. Not in the good way. Not in the good way whatsoever. So let's research these items, see what we get. Do they have any monetary value or not? And possibly even think about what sort of items we don't need to have on the rover. So obviously I think the video camera and the status display, manipulator, arms, power controllers, things we need. The microphone I don't know about. Configured to interface with the rover uplink system to transmit an audio feed. We don't need an audio feed though, do we? I'll install it, but I don't know. Don't have it on either. Survey map. Compass. Probably don't need a compass because we have the map. The auxiliary generator. Oh, it burns through the chemical fuel, that's why. So maybe there's no display for that. Reserve battery could be very helpful. And then we got our turret as well. So if I back out of this menu, no, I can't back out because I've selected something. There we go. It's a bit weird just then. So if we go over here, we have our augmented drive, which is a propulsion module, powerful motor that can be adapted to augment rover's onboard drive system. So that could be a replacement for something. And then we got the armor plating, which is actually like protection, I guess you can say, for the rover, so we can absorb more damage perhaps. So if I rover these or drag and drop them into the garage, we can install them onto the rover and go from there, and then probably take another exploration trip down to the planetary surface and then see where we can go from there. So I never said uninstall yet, I said install. Oh, it's in progress, that's why. If I enable that. You can't activate it. It's probably just a passive effect then. Get off your... Jesus Christ almighty. It's a bit annoying, that is. It's a bit annoying. Let's go down to the planetary surface again. See what sort of stuff we can do this time around. So if I click launch, deploy the rover. I might actually play that game, see, just show you a bit of that, whatever it is. So if we go here, play Dungeon Road. So you have to use WASD to move. Oh, it's like a turn-based combat thing. So you don't know if any enemies are anywhere near anything. Like this guy's like chasing after me. Oh shit, I'm stuck now. How do you attack? P. Oh, okay, you have to press P in the direction. Okay, that's how it works. So it's like you have to press up and P and then you do the damage that you're supposed to. Like an alien or something. No, it's whoever it was from Undertale who's a skeleton, I don't know. Sans or whatever. In before people get triggered because I don't know Undertale and because I think it's fucking awful, but opinions, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's allowed to have them. It'll be like, oh shit, the game, oh god, the rover's on the surface, let's go to it, Oh, what the shit happened? Guys, I don't know what the shit just happened, but, something just happened and I don't know what the hell it was, and I actually cannot move. If I can move, I'm going really, really slowly. What the shit just happened? Power shortage? Can I use the generator or not? Ah shit, I didn't do that. Okay, we can use the auxiliary generator. For whatever reason, we short-circuited. I don't know why. Or whatever the terminology would be, we sort of had an internal problem. All I did was play the game. I played that game and now it's like, well, get fucked, boy. And it's like, what? Why? Rover temperature warning. So there's now we're getting a temperature problem as well. Wasn't there like a ramp on this thing? See, so this is the problem as well. It's like we gotta be really careful about power and all that as well, and temperature. So we've got a power warning and now we've got a temperature warning. So I wonder what. It's probably due to the movement of the rover that the temperature is actually increasing, and all the items that are like attached to it. I mean, that would be my guess at the very least. Seems very logical. Don't fucking fall off whatever you do. I've worked so hard to get up here. Okay, pick this up. It was a pain in the ass to get, therefore it must be valuable. Okay. And swoosh off. Alright. The swooshing off did not actually kill us. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to take any more items. And you see there's something over there, look. If you see that. Don't know what it is. But, oh wait, now it looks okay, doesn't it? If I turn the auxiliary generator off. Okay, so it must have been something that went wrong temporarily, because now my stuff seems to be okay. You see this thing? Oh, what the hell, man? Power shortage? That looks like something. I don't know what it is, though. Oh, I can turn the turret on as well. Bzzzt. We can bzzzt again as well. Do I press escape? Okay, I can press escape to get out of that. Ah, okay, it's full. Okay, so that wasn't an enemy. I thought it would have been. Recall that. I don't know why it would have done what it just done though. Oh, look at this. We've got a moon as well. That's something. We actually got a planetary satellite. So that's nice. I've got to check on my radiation. Make sure I'm not going to die to radiation poisoning or whatever, because that is seriously not very nice. As I take a sip. Ouch, that is getting pretty high. Damn. See, so this is not good. We're not supposed to have prolonged exposure, so we need to like have another dose of treatment pretty quickly, otherwise we're gonna suffer the effects of the radiation. So we need to be doing it like little and often. That way you're able to deal with the exposure to the radiation. So that's pretty neat. We've got a planet satellite, the planet itself, and our sort of M-class star that we're orbiting around up back that way as we drop frames pretty substantially. So one thing I have to mention as well is that if you think that I'm on a tangent or I'm talking about a point and I just end it because of a cut, then on the balance of probability it's because the capture actually glitched up at that point. So unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that, you know, other than get a better PC, but obviously I don't have the necessary funds to get a better PC right now, so unfortunately you're going to have to deal with me cutting out certain bits if the capture actually ends up glitching out pretty substantially. So hopefully it's not too bad, and hopefully this bit doesn't actually get cut. because it's glitched out right now. But just got to see what sort of stats we have here. So it's, I mean, everything seems to be okay though, so why would it short circuit or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it, unless it was something to do with re-entry, or I don't know, I got attacked on the way down. It's like question mark, question mark, question mark, you know. This one's going to phase 2 and we're at an unknown, so I don't know what the hell that could be. Maybe that's something interesting, who knows? But we still have some time to wait around and do nothing. It's inconclusive. That's something. So this might be a first. It's nice to know that there's a first for something. If we take a look down here, the user terminal seem okay, the doors seem to be okay, everything else seems to be okay. So yeah, that's something at least. We're in a highly dangerous area, so that's why we need to really think about getting the hell out of here, but we can't really do that. Also, how fun is it when you can just like go right into the floor? Like, if you're like this, then how tall would you think this person actually is? Like when he's on par with this height here, you know, like 6 inches tall or however tall that is. Anomaly tech, what the hell? This research facility is unable to explain the properties exhibited by this sample. Scientific measurements yield anomalous results. Research self-check and calibration sequences indicate lab is in good working order. Samples of anomalous nature. Conjecture at present impossible. And then it's this device contains both processing hardware and radio frequency transmission components. So that's some sort of communication gear, while the anomaly tech is something that we've got no idea about what it is. So that's something. We've come across something that's a bit of a mystery, shall we say. So I can't wait to see what that actually is. I'll see if there's any new radiation treatments. I know it's been a relatively short period of time, but you know, this sort of stuff you do need to keep on track of, on top of, because as you can see here, we're in a position where we are sort of constantly getting bombarded by radioactive particles, and they are not, you know, being very good to us, knocking years off our life expectancy. And we still got another 50% or so on this sort of scan to go. So I don't know what sort of things you're supposed to be doing in the meantime, other than play that game or whatever it is. So what don't I need would be a pretty good question to ask right now. Unless it was this drive, maybe? I don't know. It's one of these things that it's probably full of mysteries and you're supposed to sort of know what sort of stuff goes on. But in my mind, that's just a bit too much to deal with. You know, like, you have to know that the electrical arc sort of causes a power fluctuation in a conduit or something, and it's like, that's the problem. And why can't we go to the moon as well? That would be pretty awesome. Get away from the radiation of the planet and go to the moon. Although that's asking a bit too much, I think. It's better just to be able to explore one planet and that's it. Otherwise you end up being like No Man's Sky, and that's just not something that's actually pretty good, in my opinion, and I've never played it. So I don't even own No Man's Sky yet. I think it's bad. So that speaks volumes about the sort of quality of game that we're dealing with, when I don't even need to play it to know that it's not good. So what was this about the magnetometry analysis? Oh yeah, that's just part of the analysis, I guess. Okay, we're nearly done with this. So we got a target beacon. This is to high amplitude tonally pure reference signals. Insufficient data exists for conjecture regarding this device's intended purpose. Okay, so that's bound to be some sort of well, a beacon, and then Sample is comprised of a number of loops of tubing resembling capacitive coils or heat exchangers. No power source has been detected, nor inputs or outputs. The mass distribution of the object suggests that 99% of the total mass is concentrated in immeasurably small points orbiting within the center of the object. Research theorizes this is a tiny captive singularity. Wow. So that's nice. So a pico singularity, where pico is 10 to the minus 12, I believe it is, meters. That's a picometer at least. 10 to the minus 12 is just pico generally. So that's pretty damn small, and that makes it smaller than nano, which nano's 10 to the minus 9. So that is really small if that's the sort of scale that we're dealing with. So what can I get rid of? I can probably get rid of the armor plating, to be honest. I can just uninstall that. I need to wheel it somewhere or move one of these in. Let's get the target beacon on and install the object. And let's go for the pico singularity as well. Okay, but that's something that we cannot actually use apparently. How about we get rid of this? Okay, I'm hearing things, honestly. It's like really quiet, but I'm honestly hearing things from this game, and it's like, is that actually what's supposed to happen? Or am I going to get like gypped right now and jump scared really bad? I hope it's not the you get jump scared really bad and I've turned caps lock on again. Ominous silence, that's never a good thing. Where I am right now, there's like this hum and now there's nothing, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't sound too good. We're over to the cargo bay, and let's see if there's any new treatment. So I guess the whole idea is that you constantly do this cycle until you sort of run out of stuff to do, or the rover ends up getting destroyed or whatever. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, other than, you know, if the rover gets destroyed then you're fucked, or something along those lines at least. Damn. Okay, let's go out of here. Let's launch the rover, why not? And then I can go back to this game over here, and then see where we can go from there. I don't know what is the objective of this game, bitch. The dagger is not as good as your axe. Oh jeez, I have to burp under my breath, which ain't a very good thing to admit to. Hey, it's one of these things, bitch. Get shanked, fam. What are you gonna do? Okay, you can just hold the button rather than press it the entire time. Shit, I kind of got cornered there. Up in a corridor that's not paying attention. What the hell? Garage computer offline. Reboot via engineering. At least you get sort of warnings for that sort of stuff. So that's something. At least you get told that there's problems so you can go and fix the problems. So rover garage, we got a force reboot. I'm not even going to care about that. I'm just going to swoosh right on out. Hopefully you go to the planet's surface and have a good time down there. You never know. Oh wait, we're like on the underside of the planet right now. Okay, it's going to be this thing, is it? Right. Pick that up. Oh, is it me or the manipulator arms moving slower than usual? Is it because they've took minor damage? Yeah, I think the manipulator arms might have taken some minor damage somehow. So you also get warnings about the temperature as well, so you gotta be really careful with this. And the manipulator arms move slower than usual, so I don't know what that's all about. Can we actually like look around when this is going on? Yeah, I didn't realise you could do that. You can actually like move around when the manipulator arms are working and doing whatever they want to do. And I don't know what happens if you reach max rover temperature. I probably don't want to find out. But land on a nice little bit of terrain and then go back up to the surface. What the hell was that? I don't even want to know. Recall. There's a turret, look. That was like one of the sentries I must have been talking about earlier. However, I think we have been spotted. Maybe that's what it is. A target beacon ends up sort of signifying enemies, maybe? I don't know. I'm not going to be the one to answer that hypothesis, to be honest. And we're on like the dark side of the planet, look, because it's like almost all black right now. Like, I'm being serious. Look how black this screen is right now. Look how black that is. That is very scary though, because then it's like, where the hell's the planet gone? So we've been playing this for so long that it's actually getting really dark right now, which makes this 10 times more scarier than it needs to. However, I'm just going to act the same way as per usual and try not to get jump scared by nothing, hopefully. So hopefully we'll be on the light side soon enough. But who knows? Who knows? All sorts of shit can happen. We could have, rovered in a alien life form of some description that's going to try and kill us or something. Anyway, let's get this shit into the science lab. Let's decrypt this stuff. We're over to the garage as well. Let's do that shit. Repair some of these items and decrypt these as well. So I'm trying to select this stuff. Oh, you see how the electronic one's already gone through to phase 2? So it probably implies that it's something that we've already gotten. Is that another anomaly one? Unless that was from the previous one, perhaps. Who knows? Oh, it's a data storage device. That other one. Nice. Okay, we've got to repair some of these items because they've been damaged pretty substantially. Probability of success. Damn it, I can't deselect the item. What the hell? That's probably the rover doing that. I'm hearing noises and it's kind of putting me on edge when I hear it. Tell you what, I'll leave it with that. Honestly, I'll leave that. Because I just kind of want to get out of here right now. Because this black planet right now is really sort of putting me on edge right now. And all I want to do is just get 85,000 G of here. And then see what sort of stuff we can do. So, yeah. Oh, so it's like a... Oh, that's an image. So it's probably a map, to be honest, then. Nah. An additional sort of map of the surface. Who knows? This could be a black hole for all we know. We've lost track of the planet and now we're going to go crash, bang, wallop into the blackness of that black hole. Because that's the thing. You won't see black holes because they are black. Because light doesn't escape. Because you need to be travelling faster than the speed of light to get out of a black hole, and as far as we know, nothing in the universe can travel faster than the speed of light. So, who knows? Maybe physics is wrong, but as far as we know, special relativity has proven to be completely correct, and no one has ever been able to disprove special relativity. So, don't be smart artists and say that you can actually debunk it. And no, it's not going to happen, okay? It's just not. What I want to do... Ooh, okay, we've got to move something. If we remove the armor plating and then drag the data, sorry, the image data into the garage, what I'll do is I'll look into this item here called the pulse laser. It's an upgraded laser, I guess, high energy laser. I just want to see if I install the map, then what sort of image, image do we get? So if I install that and then use that also, then there's got to be a way we can look at the panels, perhaps, about which thing goes where, maybe. Okay, as you can see, that looks really bad now, so I just want to see if we go here. Oh, what the? Look at that. Okay. So that looks kind of nice. Anyway, we need to get out of here, I think. I'm going to end the run here, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do is we're going to... that's all our stuff that I care about. I honestly do not like the look of what's happening here. This looks like a black hole to me. The planet's gone completely dark. There's no sunlight anywhere. There's no sun. There's the moon, and it looks completely black as well. So I'm going to say I am 85,000 G. If I exit the link, then we can exit the orbit and end the expedition right here. And I forgot to heal myself from the radiation damage, so I'm probably fucked substantially. So I forgot to do that. That's my fault. But I think that was a pretty decent one. We got some good items, and I think we got hit by a turret on the surface. So Ben Gordon here says he explored the planet's surface at some length, mapping portions of the lifeless valley. He discovered at the landing site he looted 6 derelicts and recovered 7 alien artifacts from the surface. He made modest use of the research facilities aboard the Shadow, revealing the function of several objects. The most valuable of the items recovered was an image data valued at 8,900 credits. So it's worth 37,000 credits. During his expedition, he exposed himself to a small but significant dose of hard radiation. He returned to Megadon Station, knowing the contents of his cargo hold could change the course of human history. He opened a research institute, and the top researchers and scientists of the colonized worlds are welcome to study the alien technology there for a price. The access fee goes up as the institute fills, and a bidding war between nations and corporations for the last few slots become quite heated. So there we go. We got 962, which, believe it or not, puts us first by an astronomical margin compared to my second best attempt. That's under 3 times better than my previous run, or whatever one I did where I got 12,100 points. That's pretty damn good. But ladies and gentlemen, as they say, all good things must come to an end. This is the end of my second run of Scavenger SV-4. I hope you enjoyed the video as always, and leave your comments below, and hope you liked the video, and if you did, then thumbs it up. If not, thumbs it down. Do whatever you want to do. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day. See you later.